Alright, so in this video tutorial, we're going to learn how to make a top-down shooter with bad guys flying at you from all sides. You can shoot at them. There's a score counter at the bottom. It's pretty simple. It should take about 10 minutes, hopefully. So let's go ahead and get started. Top left, click File, New. We're going to set our level dimensions. So the dimensions of the game, the play area. 1600 by 900. Double click on the thumbnail here. So we can see this is our entire game here, but here this square is our camera. We want this camera to match the entire frame. That's real easy to do. You just click on Application, click on Window, and here we go. We'll match the coordinates to be 1600. You can push Tab, it will go right there, or click there, and 1600, 900. And let's go ahead and then click on Frame, and we'll select our background color to be black, because this is going to be a space game. So let's make our character. We're going to right click on the screen, click Insert Object, and click Active. We're going to put him right here. Let's go ahead and make the graphics for him. First, actually, let's just size him up just a tad. Click on him, double click, zoom in a bit so you got a better view. Down here, select this color, so that's an eraser. We'll select the rectangle tool, make sure it fills here, and we'll just fill it instantly. We'll select this ellipse tool here, make sure outline is selected. We'll choose a gray. This will be the body of the ship and its wings. There we go. Make sure that you're drawing him facing this way, because here that arrow is facing that way, and I'll explain in other tutorials what that'll mean, or actually just further on in this one. So you can select the fill bucket, fill it in quickly, and down here we have different directions. All we have is the direction of him facing to the right, so we can grab this slider, crank it up, make a bunch of directions so there's more detail. Right click on this black little dot here, and click on Create Rotated Directions. That'll make directions for every angle he's looking at. Make it look real good. Click OK. Alright, so actually he can't move yet, so click on him. Click Movement. We'll change him to be an 8-directional character. Instantly we can click Run and Frame, and he'll be able to move because he's an 8-directional character with the arrow keys. You can move him around. Alright, so let's go ahead and insert another active. And this is going to be the cursor. Double click, and we're not going to do anything fancy for the cursor. We're just going to fill it to be red with the square tools. Click OK. Scale this down to be small. There we go. Just put it anywhere. So let's go in the event editor and actually make it stuck to the mouse so it acts like a cursor, because right now it's doing nothing. So we're going to need an always command, because we always want this to happen. And under our little cursor, we're going to have to match its X and Y coordinates to the X and Y coordinate of the mouse. It's real easy to do. All you have to do, select position, select its X coordinate, and then here we can see the mouse and keyboard icons. It's to do with the mouse and keyboard, obviously. So we can click just on this, current X position of the mouse. Click OK. So it's always matching this X position to the X position of the mouse, but we need the Y position in there, so let's do it for the Y. There we go. Alright, so that's always going to follow. Let's just show you real quick. See? But we see the mouse pointer, the Windows mouse pointer. We don't want that, so just under here, right click, hide Windows mouse pointer, and that's going to fix that. Let's go back to the frame. Let's see what we need here. Let's insert an object. We need some bullets, so let's just make this green. And down here we have our animation area. So if we click on this, this is our first frame. We can push Control C and Control V a few times. 3 or 4 is good. And we can make it flashing like in the example. So the second frame, we'll select a fill tool, select another color. Select the lighter one, and in direction options, lower the speed and click loop. There we go, and we'll scale this down quite a bit. Although this isn't a bullet yet, put it off outside of the frame so we don't see it when the game starts. To make it a bullet, we'll click New Condition, and we'll click on the mouse and keyboard, the mouse. The user clicks left button. So when you click with the left button, we're going to want him to launch an object from your character. So under your character, right click, launch an object, select your bullet, launch in the direction of, and you're going to select relative to your cursor. That's going to shoot it at your cursor. Speed of 100. My example is 55, so let's just put it at 55. Let's see what we did there. Run frame. When we click, he's going to shoot at our cursor. There's one thing, our ship doesn't really look at our cursor, so we can change that. We'll put a new condition, we'll add an always, and under our guy, we'll right click right here, and directions, look in the direction of, and we're going to choose the mouse cursor. So he's always gonna look at the mouse. Cool. So, well, we need an enemy now, so right click, insert object, an active. Click on it again, scale it up, double click on it to open the editor. So I like to erase it all right away. And let's just make an enemy ship, I guess. Alright. Take time on it when you're doing it, because it's cool to have stuff look nice, but I'm just doing this quick, you know, to get it done quickly. So just like before, we used the same tools, we filled it up, that's our enemy. We're also going to need to crank this like we did before and create rotated directions, so our enemy can look in all those directions too. Click OK. Alright, so we need our enemy to be a bouncy ball to act like how we want it in this specific game. So click on him and change his type right here in the movement tab. We'll change that to bouncy ball. I'll just show you what a bouncy ball does. Well, it just flies anywhere, any direction it's looking in. And here you have speed too. Let's just change that to like 22. Cool. So let's make it so he's always looking at your character, so he's always traveling at your character. Open the event editor. We'll make a new condition, and we're going to need an always. And under the enemy, we're going to right click, direction, look in the direction of. We're going to click on your character, or you can choose it through relative. Click OK. And let's just see what we did. He's now going to be chasing the character always. But nothing happens when he touches because we didn't set that. So we can do that now. New condition. We're going to need collision. So on your character, collision, another object, the enemy. What happens? Frame restarts. So under storyboard controls, right down here, restart the current frame. Now the frame will restart, and you can lose when you get touched by the enemy. But when we play, you'll see that there's only one enemy in the game, so we want it to spawn. So by doing that, to make enemy spawn, we'll go new condition, select the timer. Every 3 seconds, you can choose any time you want. Under this box icon down here, right click, create object. So every 3 seconds, one of these guys will be created, and you can just choose anywhere. Let's make it here. Alright. Let's copy this. Click on it, push Control C and then Control V. We'll delete this because that'll make 2 in the same position, so we'll remake it. And we'll just choose a different spot, like down here. So now every 3 seconds 2 will spawn. So we can click play and we'll see. There they are. And they'll just come at you, and but they can't die right now. So let's set that. It's collision based, so collision between your bullet and the enemy will destroy the enemy, and also set it to destroy the bullet. Well, if you don't, the bullet will travel through and can destroy all the enemies in like a bundle. Let's go ahead and add a counter to the game. So right click, insert an object, and we'll choose the counter instead of an active, and just click where we want it. Click on it again to alter its size. This is kind of tricky because you can make it off the screen, because you'll see it's black and matches the background. Just double click on it. We're going to choose the paint bucket and choose white, and we're just going to change the color of all these numbers to white so it stands out on the over the background. You could just make your background another color if you don't want to do this. So let's just put that there. And in the event editor, this is also collision based. Collision between your bullet and an enemy. That's going to undo your counter. You can barely see it because it's white under here. We're going to click and add to counter, and we're just going to push 1 here, or you could push 1 on the keyboard. Click OK. And that's pretty much it. You can set the properties, change stuff however you want. Notice here you can't really see the counter, just raise it up and you'll see it. But we can see it works. So